right, so I know Cindy is. I see Cindy, but she's finishing up her makeup. Now she's waving. But we're going to get the show started and then come back to her when she's done. Or are you good? Okay.
You're listening to Paratalkradio with Ted Wolf and Psychic Cindy on paratalkradio.com, a member of the WLFE digital broadcast family, and is intended for listeners over 16. The topics, views, and opinions expressed on our show may not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Paratalk Radio, our hosts, or our sponsors. Now, here are your hosts, Ted and Cindy.
Alrighty.
Hi, everybody.
There we go. That's a little better. That's a little better. So we had a couple little problems here. The internet got shut out by the storm.
Yes.
And but we need this rain really bad here.
Yeah,
really bad.
We do.
So I'm not complaining about the storm. So I'm good with that. So our guest tonight he's actually pretty extraordinary from everything that I've been reading about the gentleman. He's written 7. He seems cool to you.
I may need to eat a little of my thing. If you guys have a problem with it, we don't want me dying in front of you, right?
No, we don't want you dying.
No.
We don't want no death of Psychic Cindy on our hands.
That's right. That's right.
And a keto candy bar I'm not too worried about. But anyways.
It's a meal replacement.
Ah, cool. So, anyways, he has his name is Robert or Rob Gutro, right? Or Gutro.
Gutro is right. Yeah.
Gutro. There we go.
Thanks.
All right. So what I want to do is read a little bit here so that you guys get familiar with him before we start doing the interview and you know what he's all about. But what intrigued me the most about his information that he had given me was that he can communicate and tell you about your pets after they passed. That to me was amazeballs, as Cindy says. I think that's very, very cool. And that's going to be one of my main things I want to talk with him tonight on. But I'll just read a little bit here. It says he's got a book out called Pets and Afterlife. And it says books bring comfort to grieving pet parents. Pretty cool. The love we share with our pets never dies, and there's proof that our pets do communicate with us after or from the other side, just as people do pass.
That's right.
Robert here is a scientist, a medium, an author, and a paranormal investigator, and has many experiences with ghosts and spirits of both pets and people. I almost said pests. I don't know why. I almost said pests. Some people are pests. Some people are pests. I'm sorry. All right. So it says he has published. He's got 2 best-selling books right now about how pets communicate with the afterlife, and has become known as the pet medium. He lectures and does fundraisers for animal rescues, where he teaches people how to recognize signs from their pets and the spirits. So that's where I'm going to leave off for right now. He's got a lot of different things that I'm going to be popping on here on the StreamYard so that you guys are going to be able to look him up. All of his like websites and stuff like that, I will get on there for you. So, welcome to the show, Mister.
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
Well, we will get to that. We will get to that, Cindy. But welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I love your show.
Do you really?
You guys are really informative and entertaining.
Oh, we're fun and entertaining. Do you hear that, Cindy?
Yay!
I enjoy this show. It's pretty much just paranormal on this show. Maybe some horror.
Kind of.
And Talk with Teddy I love too because it's so different. But I'm glad you like the show. It's awesome. So we have a couple people in the chat room. Cindy, if you want to do that, you can. If not, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Now go for it.
Hi, Cora. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Cindy Pickens. And that's all I have. Who else do you have, Teddy?
Actually, I can't see the other ones yet because of the I haven't put the live stream up yet, or the,
Okay.
you know what I'm talking, watch party
I do.
thingy.
Yep, I'm about to do mine too.
But it is on. It's also on WLFE, Paratalk Radio, WLFE, YouTube Live, and Paratalk Radio Live. So those are the streams. I don't know if we're seeing those or not. I'm gonna let you say that name.
Where are you talking? Oh, hi Denise Whiteman Flood. Hi from Iowa.
She's from Iowa. Yeah, that's a cool last name, Flood.
Yeah,
That's a cool last name.
I agree.
Especially during the
All right.
spring.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna go with this one.
I should tell
So-
you, by the way, that the kind of scientist I am is a meteorologist.
I know. I was gonna say that. I saw that.
That's cool as hell, though. I like that. Why not? I mean, it's got to come in handy somewhere, right? I mean, you know what the weather's going to be before the most of us do.
I do.
Listen, we had a storm that just came through here. Teddy got it first, and then we got it.
Yeah, and it was pretty rough there for a few minutes, but
Yeah.
we need it pretty badly here.
We sure
really
do.
Well, hurricane
Chris-
season is going to be more active than normal, so just so you know.
Wait, what's more active?
Hurricane season is going to be more active than normal this year.
Well, thank goodness
Really?
we don't have hurricanes.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's my specialty, and we've already broken records already this year.
Really?
no kidding. Wow.
That is crazy. I love the
Wow.
fact that you can put scientific method to your paranormal. I saw that you said you like to. Guys, stop! I'm sorry. I saw that you guys like to that you like to put that when you're working in the paranormal and investigating. So tell us how you employ that, if you don't mind.
Sure. So as a scientist, for me, the paranormal is all about energy. So what I've come to learn is that we're energy within, and when we pass away, that energy couples with our memories and our personality and our knowledge, and we choose to stay earthbound, and I call that a ghost, or we cross over into the light, and that's what I call a spirit. So there's a difference to me between a ghost who's earthbound and a spirit who's crossed over. And they all use energies. They use heat, light, water, and electricity. They use physical energies, and they also use emotional energies. But ghosts use negative emotions like fear, anxiety, depression, and anger, and those things fuel them, while spirits who've crossed over use love, faith, and hope, and those give them energy enough to communicate with us.
I would agree
Interesting.
with that, to be honest. I would. Obviously, you know that I'm a psychic medium as well.
do.
So I do understand, and I can relate to what you're explaining. I
Okay,
like
no
that
secret talk between you two where we can't catch it. No secret
No,
talk.
no. I like how
Just
you
kidding, I'm
explained
picking.
that. I like how you explained it, to be honest. I think that's a great way of explaining it to those who may not understand and know.
Thank you. My first book, Ghosts and Spirits, actually, I came up with the idea that we needed to call people on the other side something different versus the earthbound people, which I call ghosts.
Right.
So, and I know that the terms have been used interchangeably in the paranormal field, but
Right.
the people on the other side have the abilities that ghosts don't have. They can come to us anywhere, any place, any time, and
Right.
ghosts only can appear in the location of their choosing.
Yep.
That's absolutely true.
So that was
Wow, that's cool.
my breakthrough thing in the paranormal.
Perfect.
Hey, that
I love it.
works.
That's right.
Hello, Barry Martz. He says, I haven't had any meaningful rain for a few weeks now. Very dry here around the
Montezuma Wildlife.
Montezuma Wildlife Refuge. That's cool.
Yeah.
I know where he is now.
Yeah, well, it's been pretty rough around here with the no rain. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to
And
be
the
honest with
temperatures
you,
have just been going up.
when the storm came through here, it was like a couple things of lightning, couple thunder. Like it didn't even rain. It was just kind of like some sprinkles. You know, it wasn't even like downpour rain or anything. And then it just moved on, and I'm like, that was like really weird. I mean, no major rain. No, I mean we got nothing. You know, it's still relatively dry here, but it's.
Oh wait, it didn't rain there?
No, well, a couple little drops. Like,
really?
Yeah, but it made all the noise. It made all the nice little colors.
No,
You know, with the lightning in the sky. But
we definitely
but
got rain.
Did
It
you?
downpoured
Yeah,
for a
didn't.
few minutes here.
And the temperature went down about 10 degrees.
Yes, thankfully.
But other than that, it's. I feel like a meteorologist now. I just said all that, and
There you go.
You're so silly.
your temperature today will be. No, and I'm kidding.
You two need weather stations in your backyard.
Oh my God, I
Oh,
love that.
That's a good
How do you
idea.
do that?
Oh, you
Yeah,
just,
with all the stuff I got back here. Oh yeah.
You do.
you just go to Lowe's and buy a rain gauge and an anemometer to tell the wind speed and direction, and then you can call into the local TV stations and give them a report because they love that.
That's
Oh, cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cindy's gonna
That
go
is
right out
so
and buy that
cool.
shit now.
What did you say? I'm
Nothing.
gonna go out and buy
I
it.
didn't say nothing. I didn't say
You're so
nothing.
funny. You're so funny.
I know. I
Oh,
know.
so, oh, he said
So-
it's been raining in Syracuse.
Really? Well. All right. So, getting along here. So this is cool about his paranormal stuff, but I that's cool. How long you been doing the investigating with paranormal, anyways? Just out of curiosity, how many years?
It's been 10 years this year.
10. Oh,
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
cool.
awesome.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Not as long as you, though. I know you're a seasoned pro. So
Yeah.
I'm seasoned something.
you've got
A little bit of here, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of salt, a little bit
You're
of
so
garlic,
crazy.
you know. So yeah.
You're
Hey,
so crazy.
hey, to a bear, I'm like Thanksgiving dinner. I'm seasoned well.
Oh my gosh. I had to
All
put
I'm
my
missing
hair
is
out.
the
It was
apple
so
in the
hot.
mouth.
Oh my
Oh, it's
gosh.
extremely hot.
That's a
So-
boar, isn't it? Like,
Yep, that's a boar. Am I a boar? Is that what you're saying? I'm a boar?
no, B-O-E-R, a boar. An animal.
Okay. All right.
Listen, Rob and I
So-
could probably talk to if it was a dead boar.
If it was a dead boar, oh, that would be boring.
no boy.
Get it? Never.
That's
Sorry.
terrible.
That was terrible. Okay. All right. So, now when you and I first spoke, you gave me a couple different names, like Buzz Sprite or something. You gave me a name.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
Now, you want to explain that to me?
sure. Buzz and Sprite, and just recently Franklin, are 3 dogs that we had that passed away. And
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
yeah, so my husband and I have been doing dog rescue for 10 years. We have 3 dogs now.
Awesome.
We had 4. So the dogs are very near and dear to our heart. And this picture here is Buzz. He's a
Aw.
Weimaraner. He was a puppy when he was tragically killed by a car in 2005.
Oh,
Aw.
So he actually was responsible for opening the door for me, reawakening my abilities. And he gave me so many messages from the other side and helped me communicate with other pets on the other side. So
Yay!
he inspired me to write my first book to help other people.
That's
very cool.
fantastic. Listen,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that your pet helped you open and unlock that pet side of you, because I do remember reading your how you got into the seeing spirit and stuff with your grandfather. I
Right.
did read that.
Yes.
But it's interesting to me because it was another dog that actually did the same thing for me.
Is that right?
It is. I was a medium already, and I knew what my gifts were, but I didn't know I could communicate with pets. And it was one of my daughter's friends' pet. So I went to pick my daughter up from her friend's house, and all of a sudden I hear, now mind you, the family, the only one in the room was me because the parents had gone to get Jessica and her girlfriend, and Jessica's my daughter. And went to get them, and all of a sudden I hear, "Hi!" And I look around because it was so loud. Like I heard it with these ears.
Mhm.
I look around and I'm like, who just said that? And then I hear, "Hi!" again. And I look down and the dog is just sitting right in front of me, and her name was Daisy. And Daisy is so happy. And she just looked at me and she's like, and I'm like, "Was that you, Daisy?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, am I going crazy right now?" And she proceeded to tell me, because they thought that she was just a little less intelligent of a dog.
Mhm.
And what Daisy actually taught me is that she had doggy Down syndrome.
Oh my
And
God.
I had never heard of it, that it could be in animals too, but it basically is the same kind of thing, except it's Down syndrome for animals. And so she called it doggy Down syndrome for me. And she said, "All I want to do is love everybody. That's what my sole purpose is to do."
Wow.
And she was the one that opened the gates for me when with pets. It was the most amazing experience. So
It is,
Wow.
especially when you hear them speak words to you.
yes,
So in my Pets in the Afterlife 1 and 2 books, I explained that dogs and cats have the intelligence of a 3 to 5-year-old child. And
I was just going to bring that up.
yeah, so I cite Stanley Coren, who has written a couple books called The Intelligence of Dogs and How Dogs Think. And they learn on all different levels, like instinctual learning, behavioral learning. They learn words, they learn routine. So they learn all of those different ways, and they use that knowledge from the other side to convey messages to us on this side. And I found also too that they often will show me things that they loved in life, so that I will confirm their identity.
yes, I agree
Cool.
with that completely. Because we having never met them, other than from the other side, I mean, we don't know those things, right? Unless they're telling us and showing us.
That's cool.
So do you both have dogs or cats?
I have a cat. He's my familiar.
Okay.
I have a cat, but I did have a dog, and he passed away
Wow.
4 months ago.
Oh.
So, and we believe he passed away from a cyst, inside, some type of cyst, because he bled from the anal area and through his mouth as well. He had some, we believe it was a cancer of some type.
Yeah.
But he was a good dog. He was a great dog. I mean, he was so much fun for me. I mean, we did so many things together. He was just a great dog.
And you
I'm
miss
planning
him.
on. I do miss him.
Well,
I'm
he's still
planning
a
on
great
getting
dog.
another one. Oh yeah, he's still a great dog.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'm planning on getting another one eventually. I just have to wait for this goddamn speaker.
What is that?
That's my microphone on this.
So
thing,
Ted,
it's-
one of the things that I found in talking with dogs and cats on the other side is they actually will pick out the dog or cat that you are supposed to adopt next. They'll lead you to the right one. And I can share a little story about that a woman told me.
Perfect.
Okay. This woman that I met when I went to a rescue in New Hampshire to do a lecture came up to me and she said, I know that my dog led me to adopt my current dog. And I said, okay, well, how did that happen? And she said, my dog's name that passed away was Trigger.
Oh.
And I said, okay. And she said, I decided after Trigger passed away that I was devastated. I would never do this again. I would never adopt. Too heartbreaking. She said, about a month or two afterward, I was driving past the rescue and I just had the urge to pull in. She said, I don't know why I did. And she realized that Trigger was the one that initiated that. So she said, I decided I'd walk through the rescue and go through the cages. She said, I got down to the very last cage and crouched down, and there was a little dog and I fell in love with him. And
Aw.
his name was Bullet. So Bullet and Trigger are the names of the Roy Rogers and Dale Evans horses. And
Yes!
I knew that
I have goosebumps.
that he had led me to Bullet, and I adopted Bullet.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So can I share one with you?
Sure, I love it.
So how I found my cat, because listen, I am not an animal person, and I will be the first to tell you that. I was never, I'll say past tense, because I was never an animal person, right? It just was a lot for me. It's like, because I'm OCD, that's just too much for me, right? Well, one of my friends had asked me to just pet sit because she had a shop and ran a rescue, but there was an extended weekend and she needed somebody to take this one cat. And I said, okay, well, I decided to take him for the weekend, and then I didn't want to return him. So we got him, and we named him Sir Blue Regard and called him Blue for short.
Okay.
So now, mind you, Sir Blue Regard is the one who was the first pet that I had on our own as a family. And I found it really funny because I woke up one day and I said, that's so weird. I just had a dream about this little black kitten that just came to me, and he has orange eyes, and he's telling me that I'm going to adopt him. I said, this is crazy. So I went back to my friend's shop, and, it was quite a while later, I would say 5 months at least or so. Maybe not even 3 months, okay? But all of a sudden, she has new kittens in there. And these two little kittens are just the most adorable thing. And they're brothers. They are both black and just so freaking cute. One had green eyes and the other had orange eyes.
Orange eyes. Wow.
And that's how I knew who I was supposed to pick, is because of their eyes, because I'm like, oh, I know you. He said, you're the little guy that came to me in my dreams. And he came right up to me and started rubbing up on me. And that's how I knew which one I was supposed to choose.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
Now I have an even crazier story.
Oh, no.
My bestie loves cats, has always had cats, and they're usually black cats, right? So one cat came to her, since we've been best friends, and she had hers before I've had mine. Simeon is my guy. Mm-hmm. So, and she had him, and his name was Diego. Well, Diego is a very good communicator. Diego would always come up. He always knew when Aunt Cindy was on the phone, and he was always around. Diego was an amazing cat. Woo, that was weird. So Diego was an amazing cat, and he would always, he would come and talk to me on the phone, and he would always just know. Well, he told Valerie, my bestie, that he was going to be leaving. And when it was time to leave, he would let her know. So he let her know. And soon after, she started dreaming about him. And she would have these dreams of Diego, letting her know where he was at that point. She'd have a dream where he was still trying to become a kitten again. And it was crazy. I kid you not. And then she'd lead him to, he'd give her another dream about, okay, I'm coming soon. I'll let you know. So then she knew to be on the lookout. One day she just chooses to go into this little, this pet shop. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, she knew she was supposed to get this one little kitty. And his name is Marlo now. But she's like, I know you, Diego. and he went right up to her, and he is still very much Diego in Marlowe's name and body. But as soon as I'm on the phone, Marlo runs up to the phone to talk to Aunt Cindy. He always knows I'm on the phone. It's the craziest thing to know that
That's
our
awesome.
cats will reincarnate and let us know that they're coming back.
Yes. Yeah.
We're getting a lot of questions and stuff in the chat room, and I just want
Orange
to say real
cats
quick.
matter, Steve Berry says.
Over here, I want to say.
Yes, it had to be a black cat.
All right, I want to say hi to Scott Wells, Tanya Beach, Kenneth Ewing, Diane McCarthy, Tanya Barone, Marcella Weber, Tom McBride, Debbie Yenser, Tom Naily, Carrie Joe, my sister Tina, Joseph Fisher,
Wow.
Lordy Gonzalez, Nikki Stark, Ernie Atwell, Diana Scholl, Margaret Field, Carrie Joe, as actually she goes, I don't know if this is something you did, but she's like, does he get messages from people's pets that have passed? Like, do they come to you and you just tell people what they have to say, or
Sure.
how does that work with you?
So typically how it works is that I usually do it by email. So people will send me a picture of their pet and their name and the name of their pet and just any questions they have, and then I'll do it that way.
Okay, so let's put that up here. Let's create put that up here so these people can do that. So it is, so what email are we using?
rgutro@gmail.com.
I love that, though.
Yeah.
So
You said our Gutro, right? Our Gutro.
Yeah, our Gutro, yeah. So I don't make a living out of doing that because I'm a meteorologist. But so I usually ask people to buy the book so they can read it and figure out how pets communicate with, by themselves, so that they don't need a medium. But I know there's a lot of people that that are really grieving deeply, as I was, and as I do. So I'll be more than happy to give them a short, quick, read and connect real quick with their pet. But
that's amazing.
So I'm actually writing Pets in the Afterlife 3 right now.
Really?
Yeah, there's so many messages from dogs and cats that I've compiled the third book, and I have a fourth one. So the third one is exclusively dogs. That's what I'm doing now, and the fourth one will be exclusively cats. So, yep.
I love it, cool. Doggies and kitties.
Yep. But that doesn't mean that any other animal that's domesticated can't communicate, because I've communicated with horses and birds for pets, bunnies, even a gerbil and a rat, believe it or not. A pet
How
rat.
about a chameleon?
A what?
A chameleon. I communicated with a pet chameleon lizard.
I draw the line at lizards and snakes.
I don't like spiders and snakes. And that ain't what it takes to love me.
Thank you, Jim Stafford.
You fool, you fool.
I love that song.
I know that's Jim Stafford.
Yes, it is. I love that song.
So I used to do there used to be these pet paloozas that happened in Rochester. I haven't seen it in a while. I mean, it still may go on. I just haven't done it in a while.
Sure.
But I used to be the pet psychic that they would use for Pet Palooza, and it was like a psychic fair or something like that, except it was all pet stuff, and people could bring their pets in and walk through, and it was so much fun. So that's where I had communication with the pet chameleon.
Okay.
But also, I spoke to a wolf. Somebody brought a wolf in and said, "Oh, this is a half dog, half wolf." I'm like, that's not the truth. And they're like, "What?" I said, "He just showed me everything, how he became a domesticated dog wolf."
So he's all wolf.
He's all wolf. And he literally showed me what had happened and how he came to be. And they're like, "You really shouldn't be saying that out loud. We don't want to get in trouble." I'm like, you should be not happy with yourselves at what you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty crazy. Because they basically took a wild wolf, and domesticated him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Tom,
That was very. It was
Tom
very
Neely.
sad for me. It was very sad for me. Hi,
Tom
David.
Neely's got a little
Hi,
comment.
Tom Neely. Hi, Ruth.
Okay, so
Go ahead. Sorry.
Tom Neely has a comment. He says, the dog that I grew up with sometimes comes to me in my dreams. Most of the time it seems very real, but he's never spoke to me.
He just has to feel what he's
So what do you have for Tom on that? What would you say to him?
Yeah. So, well, to me, what that means is that the dog just wants him to know that the dog is with him, and no words are needed to be spoken because the love will always be there and always bind them together. And his dog will be waiting for him on the other side when it's time.
Aw, that's cool. That's cool. Oh man. Hello, Mike. Hello. Well, you already said
putting
Steve
this up on my
Barry.
page so everybody sees
So
it.
yeah, so we've got more and more people coming in. My sister is over here saying she misses her boy, Rottweiler.
Aww.
So I told her, just like, she goes, I want to know if my baby boy is okay. And I don't know what to tell her other than we can guess that they are okay if they're on the other side and so on and so forth. So in most cases, right?
Yeah. So I found that about 95 to 97% of our pets cross over, and the reason that it's so high is that our relatives and friends on the other side in spirit are there waiting for them. So I would say definitely yes, that her boy is safe on the other side, and they always express a big sense of relief when they're on the other side because they're free of their physical pain, and they're always very grateful to us who make that decision. One of the most common things that I hear from a pet on the other side is thank you. Like dogs and cats will show me like their paws extended as a way of saying thank you for understanding that I was in really bad pain, that I needed to cross over, that I had just given up. And they understand the courage that it takes because, as you know, pets can read your emotions. They know when you're happy,
right.
When you're sad, when you're angry at them, right? They go in the other room. So they can read your emotions, and they know the struggle that you're enduring when you make that choice. So they're very thankful on the other side to you.
Cool. So my sister, there you go. So take that for what he just said. Johnny Ambrose, thank you for joining. Robert Johnston, Margaret Field, Chanel. Hello, Chanel Fletcher. Michael, Red is joining us, I should say. Red, I'm trying to get Red on the show. He's awesome. Terry Krenzer. So yeah, a lot of these people are asking pretty much the same question about their pets and stuff like that. Chanel says, I've been crying since April over my Max. I miss him so much.
Aww.
And Robert just said that, pretty much that they're happy where they are and they're waiting for you to get to them as well. So they're there patiently waiting for you. Pets are in heaven as well. What's that called? All dogs go to heaven? Right? Is that the movie?
The cartoon? Yeah. So so the thing about that is there are many ways that pets will communicate with us now to let us know that they're around. In the books that I've written a whole bunch of different ways. So I'll just throw a couple out there. They'll give you audible signs, like you may hear a bark from another room, or the jingle of a collar, or the nails on the floor.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
You may feel like a cool spot against you, and I can explain that scientifically, actually.
Cool.
Or you may feel them lay against you, like cats like to jump up on the bed and kind of lay against your feet or your legs.
Lean on you, even.
Yeah, lean on you. Yep. So they may lead you to another dog or cat that looks like them. And the reason they do that is they want to remind you that they are, in fact, still with you. So, and I have a really great story about that happened when I was at a pet expo in New England. Um, a woman had come up to me. I had a little table there trying to sell my books and tell people about it. And she came up to me and she told me her black French bulldog, Basil, had not given her a sign in maybe a year. And she was very upset, very distraught. And I said, okay, hold on. Let me see if I can connect with him. And so she showed me a picture. And I said, okay, Basil said he's going to give you a sign within 15 minutes. And she said, I don't believe it. And I said, okay. I said, do me a favor, just stand off to the side here for 15 minutes and we'll see what happens. Normally they don't give me times like that, by the way. It's not that exact. But within that time, one person walked down the aisle with a black French bulldog. The only person the entire day with a black French bulldog. And I said, there's your sign.
There's your sign.
And of course she burst into tears, and she understood, kind of how it works. And I said, so that's why I really wrote these books, because I wanted to teach people how to look for the signs so they can get comfort in grief.
Yeah, and I think that's so cool, because sometimes people, like, just with regular mediumship and psychics and stuff, it's like, you could tell somebody, you will get a sign, something will come. And there's a lot of skeptical people, but then they'll say, oh, well, it never came. And then, they could have very well missed it because they're looking for something different than what actually showed up. I mean, I've been in there myself, where it's like the littlest thing sometimes can mean a whole lot. You just have to, I don't know. I guess when the sign comes, it, and don't shake it off. Don't say that it's not a sign. And it could be quite a few little ones, I guess, at the same time, pointing to, what's going on. I mean, you never really know.
Sure. I mean, you can even hear someone speak your dog or cat's name and know at that time that your dog or cat arranged for you to be there at that very moment, at that very place, to hear them speak their name. So you know they're around.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So my mother likes to. My mother is in spirit. My mom and dad, and my mother is famous for letting me know she's around. As a matter of fact, her birthday was just 3 days ago. So
happy belated birthday to your mama.
And my husband channels her, so she's still here.
Yeah.
Anyway, we took a vacation last year in Germany, and I told him, I said, his name is Tom. I said, Tom, my mom is here. My mom has been on this vacation. Mom and dad are both on this vacation, and so is your late partner, Ed, who is, by the way, the topic of my Kindred Spirits book. And he said, okay, well, is your mom going to, give us a sign? And I said, I'm sure she will. So we got on a bus from the little river cruise we were on, to go to Germany. We drove by a supermarket, and there's a huge sign. It had to be probably 12 feet wide, and it had the word Norma on it. That's my mother's name.
What? That's my sister's name.
And I thought, what is an Italian name doing in Germany for a huge sign? Right after we were talking about my mom. So
that's freaking cool. Oh yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's how it works.
That is precisely how it works.
Chanel put down here, she's got a nice little comment. She goes, she was talking about her puppy that she missed. She says, I was told to put him to sleep when I got him because he was so aggressive from the abuse and the pain that he went through. It says, Max, she feels Max on her bed sometimes, but she says, he was 6 when I got him, took time for love and patience with him, but he turned out to be the neighborhood favorite. Purebred Westie, used for breeding purposes only before me. I knew he was mine the first time I took to him when he was groomed and got his pedicure, doggy pedicure. And something about a leg mark. By the end of the year, he was completely a dog again, never showed aggressive behavior again, and I will miss him forever.
Aww.
So, it was one of those things where, it just took somebody's love
Yeah.
to interact with, it just took a little bit of love and patience.
To
And
tame them.
now, she says that she still feels him on her bed and stuff. So that's amazing. He's just showing his love back,
That's
saying,
right.
hey,
That's
you
sweet.
know, I appreciate what you did for me. That's what he's saying.
Aw.
That's
Ted, I
awesome.
have a question for you. I know you've been on paranormal investigations. Have you ever encountered cold spots?
Yes,
Are you talking to me? Who
Yeah.
are you talking to?
Both of you.
both of us.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
But
but
also
not
hot
so
spots.
much. But yeah,
hot and cold.
yeah.
You haven't had cold spots, Teddy?
I've had some, not a lot. I mean, some that feel cold. Yeah, I guess so.
Come
I mean,
on.
So
you know me. I sit on the skeptical side of all this stuff. I mean, yeah, I've seen and heard things, and I felt cold spots, but not like a lot of them or anything.
So I'm going to make you less skeptical because I'm going to give you the scientific explanation that
I was going to ask you to tell us that.
I came up with.
Okay.
So, as I mentioned, spirits and earthbound ghosts use energy, and that can mean energy of motion. They can take energy of motion. And if you have fast-moving molecules of air, you have warm air. If you have slow-moving molecules of air, you have colder air. So what happens when a ghost is trying to communicate, they will take the energy of motion from the molecules of air, and they will absorb it. And they will slow those molecules of air down. And that creates a cold spot. And that's pretty much where your ghost is.
That's amazing.
There's your scientific explanation about the development of cold spots with ghosts.
That's fantastic, actually.
See what happens when you talk to a scientist?
I love that, actually.
You geek out.
Listen, I'm a nerd. I openly call myself a nerd. These guys know I call myself a nerd. I love to nerd out. I think we should all nerd out. Let our
at some point.
fly.
Okay, so let me go back here a little bit. Stephen Berry says, "Love you, Cindy K. Thompson." Robert says, "Hello, all." Hello, Robert. He's in Australia.
I do want to say, there's some comments. I've been trying to hold my tongue because you guys keep talking, and I've been trying to get to them. Can I get to them? Jane Harada says, "Got here late. Is recording going to be posted?" Yes, it will be posted. Rob's books are awesome, she says, but I want to go on because she says, "Cannot wait for Pets in the Afterlife 3. Volumes 1 and 2 are my go-tos. After reading them and learning about Rob's experiences, it has made me realize I have been able to talk with pets and spirits since I was a child. Thank you, Rob, for making me appreciate this."
Wow. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
That's a high compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. And Tom Naily said, "I also had another dog as I was an adult, a beagle. I was super close with her, even though I had to give her up after a couple of years. My heart has had an emptiness in it since giving her away. And I know she is long gone now, but she never came to me in dreams at all." Aw. Joanne Ann, hi. Hi guys, my dog is wonderful but crazy wild woman. Can you tell me what she is thinking or needs? She is a rescue and is very hyper.
So this is a living dog.
This is a living dog.
Okay. So living, in order to figure out what living dogs are thinking, you need to talk to an animal communicator. And I, as a medium, only talk to animals that passed.
Oh, do you? All right.
Yeah. So if your dog is crazy, you might consider asking your vet for some Prozac.
Yeah.
Well, doggy Prozac.
John, I said Joanna. I think it's Jonna. Ann. Jonna, Jonna, you have to put it in the thing because I don't think I have you on here. Hi, Larry. Steve Berry, I love you so much. Thank you so much. You're very sweet. I appreciate you noticing. Thank you so much. But I do want to say, so, Jonna, can you tell me your dog's name? Because I'll try and tune in for you.
Awesome.
It says Jonna. And so the what do they call them? The closed captioning is on. So because I can see on my Facebook page.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you can't shut it off either.
No, the closed captioning is on there, and so I said Jana's name, and it said Jana, Jenna, Jana. So it's funny.
The marvel
Yeah,
of
it won't let us get
technology.
rid of it.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. I was actually thinking about checking on YouTube, see what's going on over there too. But yeah,
That is a
that's
weird
pretty
noise.
interesting. Pretty interesting. I don't know what I would be called then, because I can talk to the living and dead, whether it's pets or animals. I wonder if there's a difference.
Yeah, so I think that makes you more of a psychic and a medium. So one thing I explained on my blog was there is a difference between a psychic and a medium. To me, they're two different gifts, because a medium only talks to people and pets who pass, but a psychic can tune into the energies of the past, the present, and the future. And you can foresee what's going to happen in the future. You can see what's happening with a living person in the past, and you can explain what's happening right now. And I can't do that. That's a psychic.
Got it.
I just only have one gift, and that's enough, really.
Listen. And then you throw some channeling in on there, and you throw some things that you can hear and smell and feel, and
Top it off with pepperoni and a little bit of salt.
There you
got
go.
a whole lasagna.
It's
You
the
got the
psychic
whole enchilada.
Jonah says German Shepherd.
Amore. Her name is Amore, or Amore.
Amore.
Yes, that's Amore. Speaking of pepperoni, a pizza pie, a big pizza pie. That's Amore. Come on. We knew that was coming.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I thought, Chanel. Chanel was saying that she kept hearing the knocks too. It's like there's these weird noises coming from, I think, one of your feeds, and I think it's yours, Cindy. It's like a tap or something.
Probably Jet or Jansen. Hang on a second. I'll yell at him right quick. See, all I have to do is mute myself and turn my face and cover my mouth. And you guys never know I'm screaming at my kids.
I
There you
would
go.
never have known that you yelled upstairs.
Yep, I totally yelled upstairs.
She's a professional.
That's what.
Robert says HBO. High bloody orbs.
Okay, I'm gonna tune in to Jana's Well, you guys can still converse while I try and tune
Oh,
in.
wow, okay, because, I didn't want to interrupt or nothing,
So one of the things I can mention is that I have also learned that our pets can see ghosts and spirits.
Yes.
Right,
And
I did know that.
There's a physical reason for that. I've done a lot of research, and they're physiologically different with their eyes. The cones and rods in their eyes can see faster movement, and their hearing can hear at different frequencies. So I've come to find out that we use high-speed cameras in paranormal photography. Because spirits and ghosts move at a faster vibration, dogs and cats can see them head on. We need those cameras. Otherwise, we see them like on the corner of our eye.
Right.
Right.
Our peripheral.
And because spirits speak at different frequencies, dogs and cats can hear them, but we have to use digital recorders often to pick up those sounds. So watch your dog or your cat, especially if you had a person or dog or cat pass, because they may be visiting, and if your dog or cat are staring at what appears to be nothing, they're likely staring at spirit visiting. And I did take our dog, our Weimaraner or Dolly, on a paranormal investigation, and she solved the mystery of one of the entities that were in the house.
Wow, that's cool.
Really? How did she do that?
She did that by actually mimicking the pattern. It turned out to be a dog that they had lost a year before or so. Turned out she followed exactly the path that the dog would always take when the dog came in from the house, from outside.
Oh, cool.
As soon as I let her go, after walking around the first floor of this particular home, I said, go, show me what you want, show me what you should, just, and I'll follow you. And she ran up the stairs and she stopped in the first bedroom on the right-hand side, which was the little boy's bedroom. And she sat there and she stared at the bed. And I thought, what are you doing? And the parents came up behind me and they said, oh my God, that's what our dog used to do, because he was bonded to our little boy. He would come in, he would run up the stairs, and he would go in the bedroom and he would sit there and look at the bed where the little boy was.
Wow.
So
cool.
That's awesome.
She followed the spirit of the dog that was still there.
So the
That's
funny
awesome.
part is, as you guys started talking about this, that's actually what I was picking up for Jana's, her amore, is literally like seeing spirit activity, and it's freaking her out a little bit.
So, and I can explain why it freaks dogs out. Again, scientifically.
Okay.
I love that you can back it up, to be honest. With science.
So, because it takes a lot of energy to convey a sign one way or the other, whether it's
Right.
appearance or sound or something.
Okay.
Usually a spirit will only concentrate enough to give one type of sign. So what happens is, when our dogs and cats see the spirit of a dog, for instance, they can see them, but they can't smell them.
Oh, right.
The scent is the biggest part of a dog's way to identify somebody. So it freaks them out because they can see them, but they can't smell them, and they don't understand.
That makes so much sense. But see, this is even worse.
Nope.
I feel like this dog was being tortured a little bit by his spirit.
Oh no.
Yeah. And like it kept being teased, and the dog has just kind of become skittish because of it. I don't know if it was with Jana. You said she's a rescue though, right? I don't know if this happened. That's the only part that I don't know, is whether it happened at the previous place or here. Okay, but was there a young man at the other place too, though? Because I keep seeing a young man.
Well, I'm going to ask Rob here, because we had another question. Do you horses as well? They're wondering about horses.
Yes.
Communication with horses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Adriana?
Any domesticated animal that's been around people has the ability to communicate with us. And I have communicated with horses before, and the reason is because if they're around us, they can read our emotions. They understand some words that we say all the time. Certainly, horses are very intelligent animals. They really understand us. So any animal that is able to understand us can communicate with us much more easily than a wild animal.
Okay. Yeah, because we have Nikki she has a lot. She does horseback riding. She has horses, so she was curious, if.
Sure, and horses tend to like to appear out of the corner of your eye, just like running briefly, to let you know.
Kind of like a human spirit would. They would just be out of the peripheral vision.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
There's a fly that I'm about to kill. It's about to be a dead fly.
Oh boy.
I'm a
let's see
murderess.
here.
Did you open a portal?
Listen, I do have a portal in my house. I do have.
Oh no!
Listen, that thing is
Hello,
salted right
Chanel.
now. I don't let anything out right now because I'm pissed at them.
Maybe
Hello,
it's
Seo.
send the fly to the portal.
Right. I better go
She
open
is a
that
rescue.
door.
She is a rescue, by the way.
Yes, I did see that she said that, or I thought she said that, because I just don't know where it was happening, because I did feel like there was spirit activity that was bothering the dog. And so I don't know if it was at the past place or the new place. But there's also a young male energy that I'm picking up, and I don't know if he's in a human form at the old place or if he was spirit. Because I don't think Jonna, do you have a young male that comes around your house? Zenfly. Oh my gosh, Robert.
So, Rob, another question I had was, like, and this has nothing to do with what we were talking about, but I didn't know you were gay. I think that's awesome. I had no idea.
I'm sorry, you had no idea what?
I didn't know that you were gay. I had no idea. I didn't know that you were married. I think that's awesome.
Well, how about that?
That's cool. High five.
High five.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, so ever since my husband and I have been together, when we met in 2005, his late partner, who died in 1996, Ed, has been communicating with me pretty regularly.
I love
Wow,
it. So
interesting.
you said that, and I love that he communicates with you. That just makes my heart so happy.
So
and that you'll bring him through for your husband. That is just beautiful.
Well, he doesn't want to talk to my husband. He wants to talk to me. So I wrote this book. This is called Kindred Spirits. This is all about how Ed has communicated with me for the last 14 years.
Wow.
And
that's amazing.
What's funny is that Ed will tell me things that happened when he was with Tom back in the early 90s. And then he will tell me to go tell Tom, and I'll tell Tom, and Tom will say, "Oh my God, are you talking to Ed again? Will you cut that out?" So Ed has told me some crazy things. But so what?
That's amazing.
That is.
Yeah. So think about this. How would you feel if your partner's ex or late partner comes through to you all the time, but not to him?
Well, there's a reason though, because a lot of times, like my grandmother and my dad come through all the time, but I still have a certain amount of skepticism, and I'm like, I'm just making this up. I mean, it's kind of like if you get information for yourself from spirit, but then you're like, I don't know if I should trust that. It could just be my ego, and it may not be real, right? I mean, because
True.
I know that as a medium for myself, I will get messages and I won't always trust them. So maybe that's perhaps for your husband. Maybe that's why he doesn't do it with him.
But also,
because
I was thinking, because
through to him before, and he couldn't because he thought he was making it up.
Well, here's the other thing: is like, Rob, you were also is he a medium as well?
He is.
Yes, he said that.
Yeah, he's kind of.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure that I heard that correctly, because
I love that you guys are married and are mediums. We're not getting married, Teddy.
He wasn't when we met, though. So when we went to England, he's always had this affinity for Henry VIII and Tudor history. And when we went to England in
no singing, Cindy.
2012,
I can't help it. I'm Henry VIII. I am. Sorry.
So when we went to England,
I'm channeling Patrick.
Suddenly his abilities exploded.
No kidding.
Yeah. He was sensing dead people like I was sensing dead people, and so I wrote a book about all our experiences called Ghosts of England on the Medium's Vacation, which is it's really fascinating, all the people we met.
Wow.
And it's filled with Tudor history. So if you like the Tudors and you like, English history, you'll learn a lot about that and meet the ghosts that we met. So
That's amazing.
and Ed,
Wow.
the spirit of Ed was in England as well. We got lost, and Ed sent a lookalike to rescue us in the middle of nowhere.
I just got
Wow, that's
goosebumps
cool as
all
hell.
over my body. The truth has been spoken.
Yeah,
Hey,
Did
guys,
your
so I'm gonna.
husband freak out?
we did forget.
All right, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this down here just so we can kind of get back to some of these people that have been popping in here, so they know who we're talking with. We are talking with Rob Gutro, and he has a few websites here. He's an author. He's written seven books. He's probably working on an eighth for all we know.
I am.
But yeah,
Pets
see,
3.
and so he's got, Pets 3. That's 3. So you can check him out here at robgutro.com or petspirits.com. He's also got a Facebook page, Ghosts and Spirits. Insight from a Medium, and Facebook, Rob Gutro, author, medium. And then what's the TWI? www.twi. I'm not
I
sure
have
what that
no
is or
idea
how
what
that
that
got
is.
in there. Where did that come from?
That might have been the beginning of the Twitter. The Twitter is Rob Gutro.
You know what? It might have been. It
was Rob Gutro author on Twitter.
So I have a couple of people in the chat. I have Mary Martz says, question for Rob, but I want to say this first, what Robert White has to say. So maybe, just a thought here, the hubby's ex's nose is out of joint for something he has not yet resolved with him. But he has nothing against you, so he's a chatty with you, Rob.
Well, I don't think there's any harsh feelings there, but I will tell you that in the book Kindred Spirits, you'll learn how Ed helped me solve the mystery of his death.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah, and helped me prove it to his own family, and brought
Wow.
able to bring his family comfort and peace after 15 years of grieving.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's crazy.
An amazing story.
Yeah, it is. Now I gotta go read your book.
Okay, so I'm gonna write these down. So
Barry's question for you, Rob, was typically humans can hear audio in the range of 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz.
Mhm.
So do you think cats and dogs can hear audio beyond the lower end of this range and the higher end of this range, or beyond both ends of this 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz range of human hearing?
It seems to be both. It seems to be beyond both. I mean,
I would think so too.
I'm not a veterinarian, but I do know it's beyond the human scope. So I don't want to say something and it's not true. So I just say look it up.
Yeah. So Chanel cracked me up, and she said her husband, her partner, if Bob's ex came to me, I have an exorcism. LOL. She'd have an exorcism if Bob's ex came to her.
that's just too funny.
That is funny.
That's too funny. I love our fans down there. They have so much to say half the time, and it's just
Thank you.
it's ridiculous sometimes, but it's fun.
So that,
All right, so I was only able.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry. The Kindred Spirits book also it gives you gives people things that they can look for from spirits of their loved ones as well. So it's not just really Ed's story. It's actually some information from Ed about how you can help yourself and look for signs from spirit.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
so I was only able to put 1, 2, 3, 4 of the books up out of the 7. I'm going to create another banner for it, but I got the Ghosts of England on a Medium's Vacation, Kindred Spirits, How a Medium Befriended a Spirit, then Case Files of Inspired Ghost Tracking, and then Lessons Learned from Talking to the Dead.
Yes.
And then I'm going to add the other ones on another feed because they won't all fit. But this is really cool. I guess we're all going to have to get some of his books. Talking to Ghost and Tracking. So which one did I miss? This is very cool. I'm really interested in the Kindred Spirits. I would love to read that one. I can't wait to read that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody just wrote me and told me they want me to. They asked me if I'm doing a second one, and I said, as a matter of fact, I've already been writing part 2 because Ed never stops talking to me. So,
Oh, there you go.
Fantastic.
so that's on. Yeah, that's in the queue as well.
Wow.
That's fantastic, Rob. I love it.
So Ghost and Spirits, I think, is the only one that I didn't get there.
That's okay. That's my first one.
Okay.
It is, that was kind of a breakthrough book for me, but and there is something really important in there, because in the book I explained how my dad, who passed in 2008, helped me prove to my own family that he was at his own wake and his own funeral, and I can tell you how he did that if you wish.
Yeah.
So,
Please share. I love stories.
okay. So Ghosts and Spirits, I don't think I have a picture of it. On the front of the Ghosts and Spirits book, this is what it is right here. This is the, by the way, this
Move it over to your right a little bit, because we have the logo right. Perfect.
Oh. There you go.
Oh, I can get rid of the logo.
That's fine. So this is the face, by the way, of a ghost that haunts the Birdcage Theater. You can see the face of it.
Oh, I've been to the Birdcage.
And I took that photograph of a painting that hangs in the Birdcage Theater. So that's the cover of it.
Interesting.
But in this book, it's filled with stories of ghosts and spirits. And my dad, when he passed in 2008, he died of a stroke. And he and my mom lived in Massachusetts, and I'm in Maryland. So it was quite a ways and quite a shock. But anyway, the week of the services, my husband and I stayed with my mom, and my dad played with the electricity. He blew circuits out. He blew plugs out. He blew light bulbs out.
You gotta love that.
He played with the lights in the hallway. He was around all the time. And my mother, by the way, had the ability, but she was afraid to use it, just so you know. So at his funeral, my mother was crying hysterically in her Kleenex, and she and my dad were married 53 years. And my dad used handkerchiefs. My dad used handkerchiefs, and my mother always said, "Those are gross.
Yeah.
Don't put them in the wash with the rest of our clothes. I don't want your snot on my clothes."
My dad used to do that too. I think it's great that you're bringing up handkerchiefs right now.
My father still does it.
So my dad, my mother never touched his handkerchief. She would always make him wash them separately and all that. 53 years. So during the funeral, my mother was standing next to me, and her Kleenex was falling apart. And I saw my dad on the pulpit of the church, and he walked over across the pulpit and walked over and stood next to me. And he said, "Rob, tell your mother to use my handkerchief." And I thought, what? And I said out loud, "What did you say?" And my mother's standing there, and she's like, "What's he doing?" So, and my dad said again, "Tell your mother to use my handkerchief. You tell her to use it." And I said, okay. And my mother said, who are you talking to? And I said, "I'm talking to Dad." And I said, "He said to use his handkerchief." And my mom, I'll never forget her.
Probably lost it, right?
Yeah.
You're making me lose it.
Her eyes opened up, her mouth opened wide, and she reached into her purse and she pulled out his handkerchief. For the first time in 53 years. And of course, she knew I was talking to my dad. And
Robert White said he 3 books just bought on Kindle.
Thank you. Sorry, I get really emotional about this, but
No, that's okay.
So my brothers were standing behind us, and they were both just overwhelmed by all this. So, anyway, so that's how my dad proved to my own family that he was at his own wake and his own funeral. And what's interesting is that spirit,
but also that you were valid and that you were the real deal, right? Because I'm certain that your family questioned it.
My brothers did. They were kind of skeptical, but my mom didn't. She had the ability and she was afraid to use it. And incidentally, as time went on, by the way, my mother would always say, I'm afraid to talk to these people, these dead people, but which dead people did you talk to today?
How cute is that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So for the people who are listening, here's another interesting caveat to spirit. They know before we come here, we kind of know how our life is going to play out a little bit, and we know when our life is going to end. And my dad helped me prove that idea, because the week that he passed away, there was a meteorological phenomenon that was going on with his name on it. It was a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, my specialty is tropical meteorology. I do hurricanes and tropical storms.
Wow.
Tropical storm Edward, my dad's name was Edward, formed in the Gulf of Mexico.
Are you kidding me right now? You're freaking me out. My father's name is Edward too.
No. See, there's a lot of things you need to hear here today. Norma and Edward. Those are my mom.
Norma, Edward, and you were talking about the handkerchief, which is my dad, which is my stepdad, Jim.
So obviously they're around you tonight because they're making me talk about these things.
Yes, you're freaking me out right now.
I'm sorry, Cindy.
It's okay.
There's so many incredible things to share about spirit. So yeah.
So Tropical Storm Edward, or Edward, right?
Edward, yeah, is the Spanish name for Edward. Yeah.
Yes.
And actually, I put a picture of it in my book because I wanted to make sure that you probably can't see this, but.
Oh, that's fantastic! Yes.
Yeah. So that is it. That's in the ghost.
That is amazing.
Yeah, Barry Marks is saying this is all amazing. He's very impressed with tonight's show so far. That's great.
Yeah.
A lot of people on my watch party too. I mean, it's they're all watching. It's very cool.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here too.
Well, I wasn't sure how it was going to go over. I mean, I love the thought about being able to communicate with like the spirit. Like, I know there's a cat running around my house, a spirit of a cat. I know there is. You hear it. And that was one thing that made me think about the knocking on my door late at night, because, Trayton, my dog, when he passed, when he wanted to come in the room, he would go up and it was kind of like a knock. He would just put his paw up on the door, so I kept thinking for the longest time, maybe he was a 115-pound Alaskan Malamute. This dog was not small by any means.
Wow.
He was huge. And I wouldn't let him on the bed after he got grown, because he'd take up most of the damn bed. He would sprawl right out, and I'd get this little tiny piece of the bed. So he always slept on the floor. I made him his own bed, and actually put it at the end of my bed, and he had his own bed. So, and he loved it. But yeah, he was such a. But I still hear him. I still think I hear him at least, and stuff like that. It's amazing. Oh my God, from the Netherlands tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining
I
us.
hope
Thank you
I
so
pronounced
much.
your name right. Mika Hofstra? I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right, but don't have Teddy say it.
Yeah, because I torture names. I'm
Yes,
terrible at names.
yes. I mean,
I am. I'm terrible.
I know that the Dutch language is a little different than.
Well, I'm Dutch Irish, but I can't speak any, so.
I'm Dutch too, and Irish, and
Yeah, so,
I'm
yeah, me
behind
too, but.
57 sauce.
Yeah, so. We
And
can
I
just
like
call her
windmills.
May.
I'm not Dutch, but I like windmills. Okay.
Yes, right.
Tulips.
Yes, that's cool.
That is cool. I'm
So
fascinated by the different avenues you've gone with your books. I mean,
Yes,
you've gone in
gosh,
different directions,
Rob.
but it's all connected though. I mean,
yeah,
which is very cool.
yeah, thank you for pointing that out, because I really try to work on different aspects of the paranormal, from earthbound ghosts to spirits who've crossed over, to pets, to befriending Ed in spirit, and then historic ghosts like the ghosts of England. I mean,
That's amazing.
all different crazy things. And the latest book that I just published is Case Files of Inspired Ghost Tracking, which is case files from the paranormal group that I belong to.
Right.
And I have to tell you that you guys know, you never know what to expect when you walk into somebody's house, right?
Exactly.
And I'll share a funny story, because my husband Tom is like Mr. Monk. He's OCD and everything, and totally clean.
I used to love that show.
Yeah,
show?
Mr. Monk, the detective.
Mr. Monk.
Oh, yes, Monk. Oh my God, I love that. My dad did too. Stop it! You're freaking me out again.
So
okay, go ahead.
So when Tom starts like doing OCD cleaning around the house, I start singing the jingle. You know, it's a jungle out there.
It's hysterical.
We went to this one house, and they said that there were like 4 adults there, and I'll never forget it. It's not in the book, by the way. So this is a bonus story. We went to this house. 4 adults were living there, young adults, and there was a dog. Unfortunately, there was a dog who was living there. And they thought they had dark entities in there. This house was so filthy. The dirt and grime on the floor was probably 1 inch thick, and there were clothes and half-eaten food all over the place. There was black.
That had to drive him nuts.
Basement. So Tom walked up to the front door, and he turned around and he walked back to the car, and he sat there until I came back. He said, "Hey, I'm not going in there." And I was in there for 5 minutes, and I couldn't take it. None of us could stand it. So,
what's funny?
I actually read the riot act to the girl that was renting this house, and I said, "You know what? I don't care about you or your 3 adult roommates, but that dog needs to go to another home, and you need to burn this place down because it's disgusting." And it was.
I'm going to interrupt you because I did a couple cases like that, and it's exactly the same way. You walk in, and they sounded great on the phone, but, and all that, and you get there, and they're worse than hoarders. I mean, food left out on the table that's been there all day, and just the smell will get you when you walk in the front door first, and all of it. And they're trying. I finally, when I had to talk with the homeowners, I said, "Can we go outside and talk?" And it was simply because I couldn't stand it inside there. I mean, it was so hot, and then all this food that was sitting out, and all the. I mean, instead of like. The dishes were piled up in the sink.
Mike Henry is hysterically says, "What kind of food?"
All kinds of food. All kinds of food. There's stuff that these people. I don't know how they lived and and didn't come up with some type of diseases, because it's really scary. Dishes in the sink. A person high. Seriously. I think I wash my dishes twice a day or once a day, whatever I have to. But there's three of us here. I take care of my parents, so we don't have a lot of dishes that are dirty,
Right.
And I can't stand it. I mean, I don't vacuum every day, but I mean, my house is clean. You know what I mean? And it may have a little clutter here and there, but Jesus, I could never, except my bedroom, except my bedroom.
So
Your
I read a
bedroom
blog,
is okay if it's mess.
I read
Yeah.
a blog about that. People are more subject to negative energy if their house is disorganized.
Like, that was funny.
When people say that they're always stressed or there's a lot of negative energy in the house, I would tell them to clean it and organize it, and because
Yeah.
Right.
organization promotes good energy, and
Right.
that's an easy way to improve your environment, your living environment.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I like what Mike Henry said. How many hauntings are just mice? And it's
Yeah. It's
you
true.
don't know. I
I'm
mean,
sitting
the
here
amount of
giggling,
animals
but
that
it's the truth.
yeah, I mean the amount of animals that live in a house that's filthy. I mean, any noise.
Listen, it's not even just houses that are filthy. Sometimes they can take over old houses and just
Oh
go
yeah,
through the
true. In the
walls.
walls, in the attic, and all
Yeah,
that stuff as
you
well.
may never
Yeah.
see a mouse, but you can hear them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually if you open up a drawer in the kitchen or a cupboard in the kitchen,
Yeah,
you can tell if there's a mouse because there's usually mice droppings in
Right.
one or the other, or if not both.
yeah.
They love that stuff. They go in those drawers and stuff, all the time.
At least you're eating
So-
chocolate chips in your sleep and you're sleepwalking.
Listen, I have sleep eaters at my
He's
house.
funny. Rob is
I have
funny.
sleep eaters.
He fits in. He's funny too.
Yes, I like him. Can we keep him, Teddy?
Yes, we can keep him.
Funny,
Okay.
We can keep
funny,
him.
but looks aren't everything, right?
Tell
I
your
always-
husband you found a new home.
Tell me your husband's name again, Rob.
What's that?
What's your husband's name again?
Tom.
Tom. Okay. Because I'm like, okay, Ed and Tom. Okay. I just wanted to remember.
Well, you can call him Mr. Monk, and I'll know who you're talking about.
Mr. Monk, there you go. I had bats in my attic when I was
Bats
a
in the
kid,
belfry.
so yeah, I knew when it was the bats.
Yeah.
So yeah, bats in the attic will
Yeah.
make a lot of noise as well. But I have flying squirrels in my attic.
Yes, I remember that, Teddy. I was
Yeah.
just going to say when you were talking about the mice, I was going to
So when they
What's
scoot
up with
across
the
the floor and stuff,
squirrels?
yeah, and that's why I was saying with my dog,
Hi.
they actually ate a hole through the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
and
God.
came
If
out.
rattlesnakes living in the attic could make you think the place is haunted. Listen, Barry, we don't want to know about rattlesnakes.
And actually, there has been houses that's had snakes in the attic before.
Come on, don't scare
Yeah.
me. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but anyways, these squirrels actually ate a hole in the living room ceiling.
Wow.
And my dog at the time was down in the basement because it was cool. It was in the middle of summer.
Mhm.
So he would sit in the basement where it was cool. And this one squirrel took off, flew right past us and down the basement door, down to where he was. And that dog jumped up in the air, grabbed this squirrel like out of the air, and came back. And I actually had to say, "Come on, give me the squirrels." I mean, he didn't kill it. He just grabbed it gently out of the air. There was nothing wrong with that squirrel. And yeah, he was such a good dog.
Shook. It was
Well,
shook.
you have to remember the Alaskan Malamutes when they lived, because they're from where it's cold and snow all the
Alaska.
time. That's where they're from, Alaska. So they got used to eating rodents. Rodents were one of their main food.
Right.
So squirrel, that was like an instant meal for him right there. But I'm just like, oh no, you're not going to eat this. No. He was too cute to eat. Really big eyes. I mean, he was so adorable.
It sounds
Sorry,
like
I got on a tangent.
Sounds like that Ray Stevens song, the Mississippi Squirrel Revival.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
I'm
That's
dating
funny.
myself.
Hey, me too. Me
Okay.
too. Well, none of us are young here. Well, Cindy's the youngest, I think.
Okay.
I'm 54. So
Wow. Well, you don't look.
I'm
well,
49.
thank you. You're 49.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't look a day over 50. I mean, day over 49. I love you.
I like to tell people that I'm 29 on one leg, and then you can guess what the other leg is.
29
Awesome.
on one leg, and what did you say?
You can guess what the other leg is.
You guess it.
I don't know. I
So-
think you're probably about my age.
So, I think he's younger than me.
No, I'm 57 actually.
Oh,
Are you
wow.
really?
Yeah.
Well, you don't look 57.
Yeah, you definitely don't look your age.
It's bad lighting. Thank you.
I know what's keeping him young. I can't say it on the air. His husband.
I know that. You said we can't say it on the air.
Sorry, Cindy, but Ghost Nation had an episode, I believe, near Gettysburg, which I do remember, where Jason and Steve found snake skins in the attic of this place that they were investigating. No joke. Yes, I do remember that episode.
No.
Yes.
I mean no like.
Also, Chanel says I lived in Florida, and the geckos and iguanas were more
Yes.
vicious than the mice. LOL. Remind me to tell you the story of the horrible python that was eating the dog in the neighborhood.
I don't want to hear
Ooh,
that.
eating the dogs. I don't want to hear that either.
I don't want to know
We-
that story.
You don't need to know that.
God.
No.
By the way,
And
I
Chanel's like, I'm 46, Cindy.
I knew she was younger than me.
But
do have a story for you that from my Pets in the Afterlife 2 book that is really an emotional story, and
Yeah.
actually it turns out it's actually a warning to all pet parents all over. This was a reading that I did via email that
Mm.
really it brought me to tears. So.
Aw.
In short, there was a woman who emailed me, and she said that her little puppy named Clancy passed away. Clancy was a Cocker Spaniel, and she said that she was out for the night just with a girlfriend for a couple hours, and her husband was watching the dog, and she was called home because the dog wasn't feeling well and wasn't behaving well, right? So she called the vet when she got home, the emergency vet, and described what was happening to the dog. And they said either bring the dog in, or if you can't bring the dog in, just watch the dog overnight. Put the dog in his crate and keep him comfortable. So she didn't take the dog into the vet. She opted to watch the dog overnight. Well, within 2 hours, she came back to look at the dog in the crate, and the dog had passed away.
Oh.
And
What?
she was beside herself. She said, I don't know what happened. There was no physical marks on the dog. There was nothing. I checked for snake bites. There was, I checked for animal injury. There was nothing. So I don't understand what happened to my healthy dog, my puppy. So I got in touch with her dog. Her dog's name is Clancy.
Which is crazy because, again, that's somebody I know.
I think you know everybody.
I do. Clancy is
I
alive.
think she does too.
Well, so Clancy, what happened was Clancy showed me that he liked to eat plants.
Oh,
And
no.
he showed me he was in the backyard and he was eating plants. And so
Oh.
I emailed Elizabeth back and I told her this, and I said, can you verify that he used to eat plants? And I said, attached is a list of poisonous plants from the SPCA. And she wrote me back and she said, he did like to eat plants, and there were several plants in the backyard that are on this list. And then she knew what happened to her dog.
Right.
So Clancy's message
Madonna.
to his mom was that, number one, it's not your fault.
Right.
And number two, to all pet parents who read this chapter, here's what to look for to ensure that your dog stays healthy.
I think that's very, very smart and very sweet that you would do that for other pet owners.
So that was a message from Clancy. So So that's in the book, and that really shows to me the intelligence of a dog on the other side. That they
Right.
can tell me. He showed me what was happening, what led to his passing by eating those plants, and I was able to put it together. So
That's so sad,
amazing.
Bob.
Yeah, but animals are amazing.
I agree.
Oh yeah, I agree. I I just was telling my parents and my niece yesterday, I think it was. I was out working. I have a green thumb, so I do a lot of planting. I do a lot of like drink herbs, like catnip and spearmint and peppermint, and I just planted a white sage garden as well. And
I heard that on your last show.
Yeah, and yucca plants. I have a lot of different plants that I have out here. And as I was going out to my truck, this little fur ball, about probably no bigger than this, a brown and red, came out of nowhere and scooted by me, and it was a baby woodchuck, and he was so adorable. Right? So I started putting out the rinds for the watermelon and stuff, so he had something to munch on, because I think his mom isn't around anymore. So I thought that was cute. And then
That's very sweet.
another day I'm doing it, and I pull in the driveway, and here is this little white butt with a big old tail, like waddling away from the driveway down around the corner of the house. And here is a baby possum, beautiful little baby possum with his tail up in the air, just walking away, trying to scoot as quick as possible. So what I've been doing lately is like weed a lot of watermelon, because my parents and stuff like that, and keeping the water in their system and stuff so they don't dehydrate. So
Right.
I've been giving them
Good
all the
idea.
rinds from the cantaloupe and the watermelon, and of course I gave them some French fries, and then I would give them
French fries.
peaches, the rinds from the peaches or the skin from the peaches and stuff like that. So I've kind of gathered quite a few little cute pets down back, and
That's so
Um,
cute.
yeah, I'm gonna put up some cameras so that I can get them on, the DVR, watching them when they eat and stuff like that, and then maybe
That's
take
so
some still
cute,
shots.
Daddy.
Oh, they're so adorable, and I got black mink down here. I don't know if you've ever seen a
gosh.
black mink before. They're beautiful. And then my dad happened to tell me that a coyote was standing in the backyard, and I'm like, okay, that ain't good.
Uh-oh.
But we found bear scat on the corner of the house. Remember, I told you that, Cindy. So we know the
Yes, you
bear are out
did.
back as well.
Yes,
I
you did.
have a lot of acreage where I live. A lot of
Well, did
wooded
you hear?
areas.
Did you see what Robert said? He said the birds here are clever and cheeky buggers.
Yeah, well,
no.
the one day with him, he was showing on his page where this bird had actually come in his house, walked in the house, and jumped up on top of. He keeps this little box of their birdie treats. I was gonna say like dog bones, but they're like little wafers or something for birds. And this bird knew exactly where it was, got right up there and sat on top of this. And these are like little parrots. I mean, they look like parrots to me, but Robert's
That's
been
so crazy.
feeding them, and he gets them all on his arm sitting there while he feeds them. And I love animals and pets, and I think it's great when people can share that stuff. It's amazing. Hello, Helen.
For a minute there, when you said that you put a watermelon rind in your driveway and you saw a big white butt, I thought it was your neighbor bending over.
Well, you know what's funny, Rob, is I have three types of turtles that come up out of my swamp back here, that come up the hill and lay their eggs in my driveway.
Oh.
I have snapping turtles, I have painter turtles, and I have bottlenose turtles. And they all come up at different times of the season and lay their eggs in the driveway, and I have to go out there and move all the eggs all the time. So, but yeah, it's great. I love it.
Sounds like you live in a wildlife refuge over there.
Well, look at Brenda Anderson. Brenda Anderson says we have the deer with the fawns coming in, plus a bear with 2 cubs.
Yeah, we used to have a bear
Brenda,
with 2
where are
cubs back
you
here.
located? Where do you live?
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
so I live in Wayne County, whereas Teddy does not. He lives in, what is it, Orleans?
No, I'm in Livingston. I'm like
I'm
an hour from you. So
Yes,
yeah.
I know that. But here, where I live, we've had bear sightings. I mean, we only live 30 minutes from Rochester, so it's crazy. He likes big butts and cannot lie. I'm eating that watermelon rind.
That's great.
Oh, but the other
This
thing
is
that we have
hysterical.
lately is we've been seeing, everybody's been talking about it here in this little town. Bald eagles lately have been roosting here this year.
3:30 in the
So
morning over in Netherlands, and Micah is still awake.
Oh my gosh.
that's
That's
cool.
dedication right there.
It is. Thank you so much, Micah.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Brenda's in Central PA, Cumberland
Oh,
County.
Cumberland County. Okay.
Yeah, well, they get Bigfoot sightings as much as we did.
Yeah, Barry said maybe Sasquatch can show up to your place, Ted, for some food scraps. He would love it.
There you go. There you go. I'll feed anybody. And Robert says belladonna. Yeah, I actually had belladonna growing down here also. A wild version of it.
And Micah says he has a little black cat and she plays with the orbs in his apartment.
Oh my gosh.
Chanel
love
says, I
it.
tried rescuing a turtle last night, but some asshole drove over the curb
To her.
her. Yeah, okay, poor thing. I moved her further off the road. I hate humans sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we just had humans being hit by somebody in a car and they drove off and killed the mother and the kids were still there and the baby's still in the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, it's
Hey,
terrible.
Marcus, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, Robert, about what. So how does your husband take all this with all the writing that you do and all of this?
Yeah.
Now he is on your investigation team, but I mean,
He is.
does he like everything that you're doing with your books and stuff like that?
Call him
Does
Mr. Monk.
Do you give him the books and say, "Hey, proofread this"?
I have asked him to read a couple of them to edit them. So because he's actually an amateur historian on the Tudors, which
cool.
Amateur historian what?
on the Tudors, Henry VIII,
That's
the
amazing.
Tudor
Okay.
period, which is why we went to England in the first place.
Yeah.
So he kind of co-authored it because he was doing all the history.
That's amazing.
So and yeah, and of course Kindred Spirits he also edited because it's about his late partner.
Right.
But for the most part he doesn't.
But he supports you with it though, so that's awesome. I mean,
He
it's
does.
hard to find a partner sometimes that will support the things that you love to do. So.
Well, he binges on Netflix.
There you go. There you go. Chanel says, "Bring on the aliens." There we go.
Yeah, but she said, "See, the human race is the problem," and then she said, "Bring on the aliens."
Yeah.
What part of England did you go? Asks Helen.
Oh gosh, we went everywhere. We were in London, of course. We went to York. We went to Portsmouth.
Big.
We actually went all the way up to Scotland and took a train all the way back to London. We went to
Nice.
Buckingham Palace. We went to Bath. So
Wow.
we made the rounds. So what we did is we planned the vacation around all the Tudor castles. So we went to Hampton Court Palace. We went to Windsor Castle.
Oh, Windsor, awesome.
All of these amazing places, and
Right.
there were people talking to me all over the place. And
I was just gonna say that.
yeah, I mean, so my tagline for this book is that mediums can't really take a vacation
Right.
because you can't turn it
Yeah.
off. And I liken it to be like in the line at the supermarket, and somebody calls your name like 3 times. That sounds like 2 or 3 people behind you. And finally, you just have to turn around and go, "What do you want?" and then they start talking to you. So,
She asked if you went to Perry's bar.
I've never heard of Perry's Bar. I don't know where that is. Can you give me any details about where that is?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, so if you can give him an idea of give all of us an idea where Perry's bar is, that would be great. I wanted to tag back on the Windsor Castle. I mean, I'm going to Ireland next summer.
Okay.
And I'm spending a week in Ireland going and doing the castles and all that stuff as well. And then the following year, I'm going to Scotland. So Yeah, so it'll be fun.
Mike.
Hopefully, Cindy will be able to go on one of them, if not all of them, somehow, because
I
it would
can't
be
go to
really
the
fun
one
here.
next year. I can't do the one next year because he made it, and my sons will still be in school with their exams, so I
Yeah.
can't do that one, which
Yeah.
I'm really like so sad about because summer solstice in freaking
Yes.
Ireland. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, that's when I'm going to summer solstice in Ireland.
Well,
So,
Ted, one of my
Micah-
next books are the ghosts of Ireland and Scotland that I met because we went to Ireland.
Wow.
And it's
That's
Ireland together.
amazing.
I just haven't. I have to edit it.
Okay,
I
I'll be
think
looking
you
for
guys
that one. Teddy's
But
going to want a copy.
Go to the Cork County Jail
Okay.
because I actually got a photograph of a man crossing a hallway, a ghost,
Wow.
and that's going to be the cover of that book when I put it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I-
She said that Perry Bar is in Binghamton or Birmingham.
Birmingham.
No, we did not go to Birmingham.
Okay.
If there was a Tudor place, we will wind up getting there, but we did not. One of the really cool places that I went to in this book is Hampton Court Palace.
I think I've heard of that.
Christy London.
I think I've heard of that though.
Christy London and Mike. It says Micah says I have the orbs on video, and Christy London looked at it, and Mike also. Love them both. They confirm the orbs and that I have a relative in my apartment who passed away. I know it's my mom who passed away in November 2015, and Christy will email later on about the video. That's our Christy and Mike, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're on the same network. Yeah.
Yeah.
Theirs is
Yeah, I'm trying to
Where's
think.
Where's my sage?
Yes. So
Yes.
check out Where's My Sage tomorrow at 8 p.m. It should be Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Tuesday at 8. Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
That would be another good show for you, Rob, to get on there. I know they'd like to talk
Yes.
to you.
Where's My Sage?
Oh,
Yeah.
let them
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
who
I'll
I
send-
am.
Christy's,
Yeah, I'll
medium as well. And Mike
I'll give him
is
your-
paranormal and
Yes.
cryptid.
Yeah, he's a Bigfoot. He's a cryptid. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll send you their information and I'll tell them
Bigfoot.
about you. So I'll
Thank
get you another one if you want. So yeah,
Cool.
not a problem.
That would
I
be
know
fun.
a couple other. We have four. I think we have 4 or 5 paranormal shows on the network.
But you're the
So
best.
I can.
We're the original.
Aw.
But-
So, but I'll pass you around if you want. I'll pass you around.
That was really loud. In case you guys heard noises, it was my child upstairs dropping something very loud, almost making me pee myself.
oh boy.
You could have left that part out.
Listen, I almost let that part out. Let me tell you, my friend.
Well, if you need to go to the little girl's room, go for it.
I do, actually. I've
Go
been holding it for
for
a
it.
while.
Go for it. I can handle Rob.
You know they make adult diapers.
Do you ever see what is it, Grey's Anatomy? The one episode where they had to do like 24/7 rotation, so they just put on adult diapers.
No,
for
I
work.
did not. That's hysterical. I can't even think about that at the moment because I use women's hygiene products and can't stand them either.
Well, go to the bathroom there, young lady, and I'll talk with Rob till you get back. Not a
You
problem.
need to put something under the leg of that table. Wait, why?
Because you can hear whatever that is that
Oh.
you hitting the table.
Wait,
If you're
what?
hitting the table, we can hear it.
No, I'm not hitting my
Are you-
table.
Oh, okay. I think that's what they were thinking.
So,
So by the way, I know about adult diapers because we have a Weimaraner who's 15 and a half years old. Right?
Yes.
Now Weimaraner is only supposed to live to be 13 max, but she's 15 and a half.
wow.
She still walks around the neighborhood once a day, and so she wears an adult diaper because she's incontinent with both 1 and 2. But it really works.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
And she's
That's
Well,
fantastic.
my dog,
It's clever.
my dog,
actually.
the Alaskan Malamutes only live between 10 and 12 years, 10 and 14 years. I can't remember, but
Mhm.
he was 14 when he passed.
Wow.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he lived right up to where I still think he had a way to go. I actually gave him the last couple months I knew he was in pain, so I gave him the CBD gummies,
Hmm.
and he would, after he ate the gummies, he would get up and walk around because normally he would just sit or lay down.
Yeah.
But after I gave him the gummies, that helped with the pain, and then he got up and walked around and felt like a dog again, which was great to see. So
Wow.
it was awesome.
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Barry says, when I was a child, I had about 50 painted turtles that I caught during the summer in ponds and swamps. Come fall time, I would turn them loose. The following summer, I might recatch the turtles that I had the previous year.
Aw.
Sorry, Helen. She
Yeah.
lost her Max a year ago
So,
as well.
Brenda Anderson, Rob Gutro is our guest, who is the pet medium and author. I
Yes.
also do pets as well, but
But
Rob is our guest tonight.
I consider myself more of a medium rare because I'm not really well done. But,
And I used to be a medium large, but now I'm a medium.
oh, you guys are killing me. You're killing me. All right, so here is Rob's stuff where you can check him out. He's got robgutro.com, also petspirits.com, Facebook at ghostandspirits.insight from a medium, and facebook.com Rob Gutro author medium. Holy moly, there's so much to say there at once.
well,
I've got my
the
tongue in front of my teeth and
No,
can't
you
see what
don't
I'm
have to
saying.
do,
the
Rob.
big book, Ghosts and Spirits Insights from a Medium, is actually the title of my first book. So when I created
Okay.
Facebook page, I just put the whole darn thing, the whole darn thing in there. And I'm like, and I know
There you
better now.
go.
But
And
it is-
here's some of his books: Ghost of England on a Medium's Vacation. Kindred Spirits is one of them. That
Sorry,
Robert
guys.
said that he purchased, huh?
Sorry, that was another bang from upstairs.
Oh, I didn't hear that one. I was too busy talking. So Robert actually purchased the Kindred Spirits, and that's one of the first ones he's going to be reading, he said.
Yeah. Well, he
Another
bought
book is
3 of
How a
them.
Medium... He bought 3 of them, yes.
He bought 3,
Another
but
one
he's
is
gonna
How a
read
Medium Befriended a Spirit, then Case Files of Inspired Ghost Tracking, and then Lessons Learned from Talking to the Dead. And there is one that I think I missed, and I don't remember what it was.
Ghosts and Spirits.
Ghost and Spirits, there we go.
So the Lessons Learned from Talking to the Dead book is something we haven't talked about yet, but
Okay.
that was my second book, and I revised that book in 2016, and it really is a question and answer book for all questions paranormal. So if you want to know anything from what the effect of ashes are on spirit, to how a ghost communicates, why they stay, how to cross them over, all kinds of things. You'll find all the answers to your questions and lessons learned from Talking to the Dead. Plus,
Awesome.
there's one of the most crazy cases from the Inspired Ghost Tracking is in there. I actually put it in the new Inspired Ghost Tracking book too because I was asked to. It's a double murder ghost investigation.
Wow.
Yeah, we walked into this house, of course, that we didn't know anything about, and turned out that 2 women were brutally murdered in the home, and I was talking to one, and the other medium in the group was talking to the other, and when we compared notes, we realized they were 2 different ages, and it turns out they were related, and we were able to figure things out. So on the cover of the book is a face of one of the women that appeared in one of the orbs. I can hold it up here. This is it right here. Can you see that face?
I have a little glare.
Yeah, I
You
can
can
see
probably
it.
see the face because there's the nose, and then there's the eyes, and then it's the mouth
Yep.
right there. So anyway, so yeah, that's lessons learned from Talking to the Dead. So anything you want to know about the paranormal, any questions you have, So that one's kind of like a reference guide with all cases to back up the answers. So
Right. Well, cool.
That's amazing.
Well, it looks like you're going to be busy because you got the Pets 3 book to write, and then you've got the
Kindred
Ireland,
Spirits
Scotland.
too.
Yeah. So he's got 3 or 4 books sitting there waiting to finish.
I actually have 8.
8?
Oh my
Whoa.
Lord!
I have Kindred Spirits 2. I have Pets 3 and Pets 4. Ireland and Scotland.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I have a couple more. So, yeah, there's so
Wow.
many amazing things to share with everybody, and
Yes.
all a little different.
That's fantastic.
Shit, I'm still working on my 3rd.
Yes, you are.
Yep.
It takes a while. It really
Yeah,
does.
well, it's, I actually have thought about skipping the 3rd one right now and working on a 4th because I ended up with another idea for another book.
Mhm.
But it's hard to just skip one. When I'd like to finish this one. I actually call it the Little Black Book of the Paranormal.
Yep.
So I'd really love to get
I think
that
we
one
should
done
do
as
that,
well.
Teddy.
Yeah. So
So Teddy,
it's.
let me tell
Go
you
ahead.
that you should do it because I was actually writing Pets 3 last year, and Ed came to me to write Kindred Spirits. Ed came to me and he said, "Why don't you just tell my story? Why don't you just put all of the things that I've been sharing with you together in one short book?" And the book's only 108 pages, so it's a quick read. But
Right.
108.
and I said, "Okay, all right, Ed, I can do that." So I put the Pets 3 book aside, and I wrote his book within a month.
Wow,
Yeah,
Hmm.
because
that's awesome.
so easy. So, there's probably somebody in spirit telling you that you need to work on the other one right now.
I agree.
Well, maybe so.
Take it from
Maybe
two people who
so.
talk to dead people.
Right.
Well, I've always wanted to write all of my experiences right down in a book, and that was the 4th book was to talk about some of the stories, some of the things that I had experienced in my life so far as a paranormal investigator. And I wasn't sure, I don't know, I just got to sit down and write it, just let it flow, and go from there. And then give it to Cindy to have her proofread it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you can write the
He knows
forward
our
too.
name now.
Yeah, and then I'll let her write the forward for it.
Yay!
Yeah, because the first 2 I've already had the forwards written. They were written by a couple friends, so it's have it. Why not?
My turn.
3rd friend.
It's my turn.
Yeah, your turn. Why not? So
Yeah,
with your
Rob, you do it.
with your paranormal experience, Rob, you and your husbands and the team that you've been working with, and you said but 10 years, and that's cool. What was some of the most I want to say not disturbing, but like breathtaking experiences that you've had so far? Something that set you back, or like, God, I really didn't expect this. This was a little off for me tonight, or something that kind of set with you that sticks out.
Well, certainly the double murder investigation did.
Right.
Yeah, that definitely would.
And the reason it did, and it will always stay with me, and that was one of the first cases we went on, is that the 2 women who were brutally murdered by this roommate that they had, that one of the women had, that was living in her house. And they made me feel the physical pain of what he did to them.
I hate that.
And it was, they were pushed downstairs and punched and hit over the head and stabbed and shot, and then they were sexually molested and dragged screaming through the house, and I felt everything, and
I do not like this.
just don't forget it. So
Yeah, that's pretty terrible to go through. But I do want to share a little enlightened thing that Cindy and I want to do if we can ever make it happen. Her and I want to go over and do the Jack the Ripper. We want to trace his
England?
steps and go through and do the whole thing in England. We would love, to do that.
If I go over to England, though, I have a lot of people that are new clients and stuff. So I'd have to go over to England. I'd have to go over to France. I'd have to go to Germany. I just might as well backpack through Europe. It's fine.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Right, doesn't it?
So I don't think, I actually did a tour in England, and I don't think I would do the Jack the Ripper tour because of the way it would make me feel, like all of the different residual energy in the different spots of the murders. So for me, whenever I go to a Civil War battlefield, for instance, I have a really hard time with it because it's like Gettysburg is close to us.
Tough.
I can't go there anymore. It's like 10,000 people screaming at me in a stadium, and they all want attention, and I can't separate them out. It's just overwhelming.
So you're an empath as well? You're an empath as well? I mean, because that's well, Cindy knows I'm an empath myself. I feel more than anything. I do get yeah, I know. And I do get visions as well. I just don't say, I just don't go out and consider myself a medium like you guys do or anything like that. I just keep it to myself more than anything. But I have had the experiences. In fact, Cindy and I, when the last time we were in Gettysburg, when we walked the battlefields, I did a recording for, how long were we there? An hour? Hour and a half?
We were quite a while. We
were there quite a while. And I recorded the whole time, explaining what I was feeling. I have all those recordings, and I start to listen to it, and I can't finish it. So it's like I have to take a little bit at a time because I just can't. It's hard.
It is hard. So while Teddy was off doing that, I was with my boys, my sons, and John, our producer. We call him Invisible John on the show. He's not here now because we're doing our show without being at the studio right now. But as I was with John, so John walked up ahead with my sons because he's very good with history, and my sons love John, and he's a cool dude, And
Wasn't that around the Devil's Table or something like that? When you started getting... I can't remember.
I don't remember where... No, this was just the open battlefield as we were walking up, and I had been taking pictures, and I was clicking away, and they were walking ahead of me. So as I'm walking on the battlefield, two young men came up on either side of me and said, "Ma'am, you shouldn't be on the battlefield." Well, I didn't see them. I heard them first. "Ma'am, you shouldn't be on the battlefield." And then they came and walked next to me and took me by my arms. And they said, "Ma'am, you shouldn't be on the battlefield. You need to get off of the battlefield." And I looked, and these boys were so young, it broke my heart because literally my sons were there with me, and they were 14 and 16. And that's about the ages of these two young boys that were in spirit, or ghosts, really, because they hadn't moved on. And they were helping me cross the battlefield because they didn't want me to get hurt.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Boys, you don't have to do this. You don't have to stay here. You guys can move on. I can help you move on." And they said, "Well, maybe some of our friends," I'm literally getting goosebumps and all verklempt here. "Well, maybe you could help some of our friends." And all of a sudden I felt so many more people, and I turn around and I look, and I can see in my third eye that there is at least 10,000 people behind me, men, women, and children of all ages. And I literally lost it. I was like,
wow.
I can help any one of you cross. If you want to cross, I can help any one of you cross. None of them would take me up on it. They all believed they should stay there.
Wow.
That was heartbreaking for me.
Yeah, that's tragic. Wow.
And the energy is just so, like, being an empath, I mean, it was just overwhelming at times. And that's why I took the recorder, because I wanted to make sure that if something was said or I said something that I wouldn't remember, or I wanted something of it,
Yeah.
So I recorded the whole time, and
It's
I
funny.
want to go back though. I want to go
Yeah.
back.
It was funny that you used 10,000 people at once, right? It's so hard and overwhelming because that is exactly what it is. For people who can just go, I can't imagine just being a person that can go through a historic place and not see, feel, sense, smell. I
Yeah.
just can't imagine not being not having any of those sensations, right? It would be like sometimes amazing to not feel those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're so used to it, then you'd feel super weird not feeling them, you
Uh huh.
know?
Well, and it's
How
like here. Go ahead, Cindy. What were
how
you gonna
far
say?
did you say, Rob, that it was to Gettysburg from you? Because I
About
know
an
you
hour and a half.
so you're
Oh,
in
we're gonna
you
be
said you're in
there.
DC, right?
In Maryland, yeah.
Yeah, Maryland.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Gettysburg on the July 23rd, 24th,
Yeah.
and 25th. I think we're
Will
gonna
I
be there.
Yes,
recognize you
you
with
are.
your mask on?
Are you gonna you should come up, Rob. You really should. You would we have the Gettysburg Bash, and you would love to even put a booth up there. It's a really fantastic event. You could
Yeah, it's a
probably sell
huge
some
event,
books.
and it's a very big.
It's a big paranormal event.
Yeah, and they're very. What's the word?
Beautiful.
Um, yeah, I mean,
Para
you want to talk
friendly.
about very, very. They're. No, what's the word that we're always saying, or the
Para
phrase?
unity.
Para unity. I mean, they are so amazing up there.
Yeah.
Great people, and they're always looking for good people, to sell their books and stuff too. So that'd be awesome. I'll send you the info anyways. So maybe for next year,
Okay.
maybe if you didn't want to do it, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I was gonna say that, like, I've done some of the battlefields here, close to me,
Yay.
and these
Hey,
were
Brenda.
from seven. These are from the Revolutionary War, and when
Mm.
Sullivan's campaign came through New York and wiped out the Iroquois and Seneca Indians here.
Mm.
And so it's very tough for me as well going to some of that stuff. And we had caught so many things, on the battlefield. We actually caught EVPs of musket fire, yelping from the Indians. We caught cannon fire. There was so many things that we caught as an EVPs,
Wow.
and vocals, like words you couldn't understand.
Hmm.
And so it was amazing. So it's one of those places that people that come up in this area. I run the Rochester Winter Parafest in Geneseo in March. So if you're interested in that, I'll send you that information too.
Sure.
And
That's good.
the Parafest here is we all get together. We got a nice little place. It holds about 50 vendors, and we have lectures and stuff like that. But I like this year, or for 2021, I've already told some of them that investigators that want to go see other places. I want to take them to like the battlefields, the torture tree here, and all that stuff, because they really just want to see some of New York's history. Because I
Hmm.
love history. That's my thing. I love it. So um, I praise New York for its, with the stuff that we have as in history. I mean, we did the Avon Inn there, and the Avon Inn had like people like the Fords, Katharine Hepburn. They all stayed in this place,
Wow.
and
Cool
great
place.
history. The very first bank, post office. They had all this stuff in this building, and from the 1700s. And it was actually called Hartford, New York first. And then because there was another Hartford, they had to change the name to Avon. So that's how that all happened. And we had one of the original Indian reservations here. And the white man
Mhm.
took it away from them and moved them. Yeah, that was
Sounds
like, that was
sounds like
terrible. Yeah, I know.
what happened a
So,
lot, to be honest.
yeah, it did. It
About it.
did. But if you're ever interested in going to check out some other places, we got some places for you. That's all
Okay.
really got to say. I mean, you guys could take a little mini vacation up here and hang out with me and Cindy.
That's right. Well,
It'd be
and
fun.
the thing is if you even if you wanted to just go and see and hang out for Gettysburg Bash this year, whether or not
Yeah,
you
just
did
come up and visit.
it would be fun for you. I think you guys would really enjoy it because there's lots of paranormal groups. There's lots of authors, mediums, psychics. There's a lot of products being sold. It's a good time, but it's more even the networking that you're doing as well.
The networking is huge there.
Yeah.
And, we're usually there. The Paratalk Radio is usually there. We usually do interviews the 3 days that we're there. So you could even, do that if you wanted to. But
Cool.
awesome. I mean, this has been a fun night. I've enjoyed, all of this. And you're,
I love your stories, Rob.
Yeah, me too. I thought they're great. He's a great interviewee.
Oh, very kind. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
you guys make
awesome.
it so easy.
Well, he sent me a message that he watched the one that I had on Talk with Teddy with Shane, and that he enjoyed it. So
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. He was
hard when it's later for me.
Yeah, sometimes. Shane's just a little cutie. He was like he's an attorney, and him and his boyfriend they do so much stuff. He's like constantly busy with paranormal stuff. He's got his own podcast. He's got so much going on.
Yeah, he sounds busy.
yeah, but it's amazing. You find the right people in the paranormal and the things that they get attracted to and what they do. Like, we're always busy. I mean, all of us are busy all the time. Yeah. And I had made the comment to him, and I'm sure you probably heard it if you watched the interview. It's like, I would like to see more gay people in the limelight with the paranormal and stuff, because we have stuff to offer as well. And he was actually part of the very first Queer Ghost Hunters, which was fantastic. I loved their YouTube series. It was great.
They're not doing it anymore?
Right now, they're taking a hiatus right now.
Got it. Okay. That's what I was just going to ask about, because it didn't sound like
well, the whole thing, it's, how we always say, it's like, if you're an asshole in life, you're going to be an asshole in death.
Oh,
and, yeah. So it's like, we made the comments like, well, if you're gay in life, then maybe you are gay in death as well. So that's why they would take calls and say, hey, I think we have a gay ghost. And I was like, all I could think of was like the phone call. How do you say to somebody, I have a gay ghost in my house? How do you know it's a gay? I mean, could you imagine the conversation? And she was like, I come in and my drapes are all rearranged. Or, my throw pillows are back on the couch, or, whatever. And, I think it's amazing that they were the ones that spearheaded that, to the best of my knowledge, which I give them a lot of props for that. That's just awesome. So, and it's the same with you, Rob, with your books. I think they're fantastic stories. I love... I definitely want to read the Kindred Spirit one, and the new one that you're going to be having from the Ireland and Scotland. I think that's going to be my fave. I haven't read it yet, but I can get a sense that it's going to be a good book. So,
well, you might like The Ghost of England, because that's full of history.
I love that. Yes, I would love that too.
I would love to actually come back and talk about that one and the case files and inspired ghost tracking with you guys, because we haven't touched upon those. But
sure, let's do it.
That's right.
History in those, But yeah, so I've actually been out of the paranormal closet for a long time.
He said it. The paranormal closet.
This
right. Listen, we have
spirits really put me out there.
We have witch closets, we have gay closets, we have paranormal closets, and we all have come out of all of them. Well, I'm not. One of those I have not come out of, because
Scaredy cat.
No. That means I would have to lick a lot of puss, and I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
You're terrible.
I'm a gay man with boobs. I'm a gay man with boobs.
Okay.
And a vagina.
All right, so. Okay, so let's get on. You said which one? What was the other book you wanted to talk about? Was that The Ghost of England?
Of Inspired Ghost Tracking.
Okay.
Yep. So that one we definitely want to
Case
have.
Files of Inspired Ghost Tracking. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about it.
So,
right we need to pee, and I have to get ready because I have got. Listen,
Well,
I don't
do you know what that
about
means?
you guys, but tomorrow is a Board of Elections day.
No.
We have elections tomorrow here. We have a primary here in New York.
Well, you know what that means?
And presidential. What's that?
All that means is we have to bring him back.
Yes, that's what
that
we
means.
want to do. We can't talk about it now. We have to bring him back for it. Because number one,
Works for
I
me.
have to pee, and I have to go to bed. I have to go to
It's
bed.
not about you, Rob. It's about her having to go pee.
It's
Well,
about
so
me.
you have a breakdown.
All about me, and it's okay. I have to go get
I love
ready
it, Rob.
and get all my food ready for tomorrow, and
Oh.
and I have to text people still. Hopefully they're sleeping, and then when I get my messages, great.
Okay.
But I have to be up at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So I can be at my polling site as the chairperson at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Go to bed, girl.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So what we will
I'm
do
saying.
is I will set up a date with Rob to bring him back
Okay.
again, and then we will go through that
please.
stuff. And
I know,
we'll-
Barry. That's right. There was no commercial break, so I could go pee.
yeah, hey, I was going to, but when I was thinking then we got into a conversation and I couldn't get to it. So, but yes, we will just figure out another date and we will bring him back. Everybody seemed to enjoy the topics and the books and you, Rob. So,
Thank you.
thank you so much for coming and joining us here. Cindy's getting a phone call.
I did.
Oh man, that's awesome. So, guys, one more time before we split out of here, I want you to go over and check out Rob's website, robgutro.com or petspirits.com, also facebook.com. Yeah, you go. Point down. Right down there. Look at my hand's invisible. My hand's invisible.
Mine's not.
There you go. So ghostandspirits.insight from a medium and Facebook Rob Gutro audio author medium. See, I can't do it. Tongue in front of my teeth and can't see what I'm saying. That's right. So, and if you have a pet that you would like to talk to him about, send him a picture of the animal to rgutro@gmail.com. Send your photo and a question, and he will get to you as soon as he can.
I
And
answer
we will
them on
go from
weekends
there.
because I have to work during.
He answers them on weekends. There you go. Also, guys, don't forget that you can go over on WLFEDB.com. So WLFE-DB.com. Check out other live streams like this one. You can check out Where's My Sage, which we already mentioned. You can check them out. Step into the Paranormal with Dave and Ernie, because Ernie was on here.
I
and go
thought
check
that
them out
Ernie
as
might
well.
recognize him because they're in the same area.
The same area, yeah. Well, Tony DeVille is too.
Yes.
And yes.
And those DeVilles.
Yes, and so tonight is sponsored by DeVilleInc.com. Tattoos and more. Go see Invisible Bree, and go see Tony and God, she's gonna kill me now. I can't remember her name. Tony's wife.
Casey.
I can't remember her name. Casey. Jeez, I have a problem with that name. So, and go check them out. I know they are open, so they can do tattoos and more. And you will see them at Gettysburg Bash. They will also be there as well.
Cool.
I just want to say, and please go over, share, like, and subscribe to Paratalk Radio, please. Cindy and I love you long time if you do.
Love you long time.
That's right. So, again, Rob, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
here.
you,
it was
Rob.
amazing.
It
It
was
was
so
fun.
nice to meet you.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you for. So now I need to tell you something, Rob. I asked Spirit earlier that if the messages that I have been receiving were true, that you would bring messages for me. So what happened? You brought messages for me. So I appreciate you did double duty tonight without ever even knowing. So my friend, I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. And I really appreciate you both having me on tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
this has
not a
been
problem.
such a wonderful time. I feel like I've been talking to friends that I've known for a long time.
Yes.
Oh, I know. Same
Yes.
thing.
So you'll have to come to Gettysburg just to say hi to us at least.
I'm going to keep the dead people away from me, though.
Okay, I'll try, but I can't promise anything.
Buddy the Bigfoot will be there too, guys. Don't forget,
Oh, yeah.
Gettysburg Ghost Exchange. Buddy is going to be joining us at
Yeah.
Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Batman will be there as well.
Oh, my friend.
And some other little surprises as well, from what I hear. So there's,
Yeah.
it's going to be a good time. So I want everybody to
can't
check
wait.
out Gettysburg
I'm really
Ghost
excited for Gettysburg.
Gettysburg Ghost Exchange. They put this on. Pam and Steve Barry put this on every year. It's amazing. It's Para-Unity at
Yes,
its finest.
Helen, come.
We love them. So you all can come and join us there, and hopefully we'll bug Rob and his husband to join us there. Mr.
Yes,
Tom.
absolutely. Where's my sage? Thank you, Micah. It is tomorrow.
At 8 o'clock or
Steve
9 o'clock?
and Mike,
8 o'clock.
yes,
I can't remember.
8 p.m.
Yep.
tomorrow night on WLFE-DB radio. Also, I will not be doing Tarot Tuesday because I will be doing Board of Election stuff. I'm an election inspector, but I will be doing it on Tarot Tuesday on Wednesday. I like to call it Tarot
That's
Tuesday
funny.
on Wednesday, and it just makes people laugh, I feel. Yeah.
That's funny.
So what about
That's
you,
really
Teddy?
funny.
What's coming up for you, Lovey?
I actually have a magician on tomorrow night. He does a lot of things. We're going to be talking about old school magic and stuff like that tomorrow night, I believe. So we're going to be talking about that. And then I don't remember what Thursday is, but I know that Saturday I have a 20-year-old singer-songwriter who released his first song, and it's actually all over the place. A 20-year-old.
Is he country?
And he's local for me. No, he's not. He's
Okay.
actually a son of one of the local musicians from the Rochester area, and his son actually got picked up to some type of label. And so I said,
Yay!
"Oh, I want him on the show. I want to talk to him and bring it on."
Tomorrow
So
night?
that's Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday
Saturday
night.
night.
Will you
I'll
me
send you the link to his music because I'm pretty sure you would like it, Cindy. So I'll
Okay,
send you the link to
good.
his music.
I would love that, Teddy.
Okay, guys. So you know what it is. It's time to go, and we just want to say we love you guys and thank you so much for joining us here and always supporting
Thanks,
us. Paratalk Radio is the love of our life. We love this show. We love you guys, and again, thank you so much for joining us. We are out of here. So Cindy, are you ready?
I am.
All right. Wherever there is darkness, there is always
The light.
the light. Come on, play.
Thank you for listening to Paratalk Radio with Ted Wolf and Psychic Cindy. Catch us next Monday for another fantastic guest. Please check out our show as well as others on the WLFE DB Radio Network. And remember, like, follow, and share with everyone.
Join us at WLFE-DB.com for upcoming shows and so much more.